Here we go.
Today I will tell you about a point class and some of the preferences and requirements. Using demonstration, I will first tell you about the clothing preferred for the class and the reason behind that clothing. Secondly, I will tell you about the point shoes required and the purpose they serve. And finally, I will tell you about exercises necessary to prepare your feet for point. As well as delivering the speech, I will also be providing demonstration. So let's get started. An instructor requires a student to wear certain things to every class. In some parts of the world, tights aren't required, but in my class they are. Tights are important because they allow your instructor to see the lines and to make sure your muscles are working correctly. If you wear baggy clothes over the traditional ballet wear, you can't tell if your technique is correct. Another important part of the clothing is the leotard. It serves the same purpose as the tights. It allows your instructor to see if your muscles, back, and arms are working correctly. And some instructors find it necessary for every student to wear the same color, so nobody stands out. Let's move on to my second point, the point shoes. The point shoes are the most important item in participating in a point class. Just like the dancer's feet are unique, the point shoes are as well. It's very important to get a professional opinion on how the shoes fit. Point is different than regular ballet because it allows a dancer to dance on the tips of her toes for very long periods of time. Regular shoes are different than point shoes because of the box. The box is a hard enclosure at the front of the shoe that encases and supports the toes. The front of the box is flattened to form a platform upon which the dancer can balance. Moving on to my third and final point, I will now tell you about 3 of the main exercises used to prepare your feet for point class. You should have at least an hour's worth of regular ballet before moving to your point class, but even with the regular ballet before, you should do exercises that focus mainly on warming up the feet. One of the first exercises we do is ankle rolls. With your entire weight on the tips of your toes, it's very important to have strong ankles to help support that. So you start in first position and brush your right or left leg out and do clockwise circles and counterclockwise circles with your feet on both legs. The second exercise we do is called pedals. And you start in parallel and you go with one foot up and go over your boxes, one foot at a time, and this helps overstretch your arch and to make sure that you know what you should look like when you go up on both feet. The third and final stretch is called releves, and this helps warm up your entire foot in general and also your calves. And you start in first position and you releve halfway up and slowly go down, then 3/4 of the way up and slowly down, and then you roll all the way up and go slowly down. And you do this in first position, second position, fourth position, and fifth position. After doing these stretches, you should be warmed up and ready to move on with the class. As a recap to what we've learned, I told you about a point class and some of the preferences and requirements. I first told you about the clothing preferred for the class and the reasons behind that clothing. Secondly, I told you about the point shoes required and the purpose they serve. And finally, I told you about the exercises necessary to prepare your feet for point. This information is useful because it shows the determination a dancer must have to point train and also if the style of dance interests you. If you decide to pursue and point, this information might help you.